Da-na-na. Na 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 na. We're talking about Saw, baby.
Yeah,
Saw.
We've been seeing.
We've seen the Saw. We're seesawing. Society isn't ready for this. We rewatched Saw. It's 20 years old now, bro.
20.
It literally just turned 20 like a couple of days ago.
We can only review films in decades or 2 decades, just multiples of decades.
It's great for SEO. It's just like, it's great. You can put like insert movie here 20 years later. So we rewatched Saw, turning 20 soon. You've never seen it before, which I find quite crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen or sawn
in my life. Yeah, like it blows my mind you haven't seen it.
I think it's a movie I've read about a lot and I've seen people talk about a lot. Yeah, I decided to be like, I guess I don't need to see Saw.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm paraphrasing a lot of it, but just a brief history. It's obviously James Wan.
Yep.
This was his breakout movie. This was the movie that put him on the map. It was a sort of a low budget indie film. Came out of a film festival. I think it was at Splatterfest or something like this. It got everyone talking. Lionsgate picked it up. It made a shit ton of money. Let me pull up the actual statistics, which I should have prepped earlier, really. But Lionsgate put it out. It grossed. It had a budget of 1 million and it grossed 103 worldwide. So it made like $99 pretty much $1 million, but over budget. So Lionsgate then said, hey, yo, this is great. Let's do it again. They made a second one that was okay. Then they did a third one. That was pretty good. And the fourth one was pretty good. And then the fifth one, and then the sixth one, and then the seventh. And 11 just dropped like last year. Or was it 11 or 10? Saw 10. So Saw 10 came out last year, and there's more coming. They're doing another sort of trilogy or more. There's also 2 spin-offs now. There's Spiral from the Book of Saw, right?
Yeah, Spiral, the Book of Saw.
And is there another one? Maybe there's just that one, actually. That's the one with Chris Rock, if I'm getting that right.
Yeah, there's history. We do have history with that, which
yeah, we do. Yeah. Whoa. Won't do that. But I think the thing that they still make a lot of money and they still got the fan base for these movies are insane. Like, there's so many people that love these movies, ride or die. And I think the first movie is not an accurate representation of the rest of them. Saw 1 set the premise, a very clear narrative structure. People in a trap because they deserve to be there. And do they value life? They have to do something horrific to themselves usually. And then there's a twist. But the thing that changed after the first one is they led into the gore more. And then the rest of the Saw movies came essentially like gore porn. Do you know what I mean? It was like just a lot of blood and guts. And the first one, it didn't really have as much as you would expect from the Saw franchise. When you go and revisit now, I think you'd expect more, but it didn't really have a lot, right?
No, there's not much gore at all, honestly. It's not that gross. It's violent, sure. I guess it's gnarly, but nothing. I didn't find anything completely shocking. There's like, I don't know, you see someone stab a man and dig into his stomach to get the keys, but they cut away from a lot. It's like the sawing off spoilers, which I know there's no way we're going to get around. At this
stage, yeah. No, it's 20 years old.
When he's sawing his foot off, they don't even show you the foot come off or him really sawing it off. Instead, you get some nice saw ASMR.
Yeah, and you see his face.
Yeah, he's like, it's all. So it's very funny how Mr. Lawrence Gordon, by the end of it, he's an entirely different actor. I think.
I don't think so.
With the way he acts, I think so. Like, I don't know.
Sorry, if we meant like the actor.
No, he seems to like transform in the midst of this film, and by the end of it he's like British or something.
I know what you mean. There's a vibe shift.
Yeah, I guess he's losing a lot of blood. He looks paler, which he's losing a lot of blood. But he's like, I'm old and cold.
No, he does get more. He gets more British. So obviously I've seen it before rewatching it, a couple of times actually.
Is this a party movie for you? Do you put this on with your friends to sit around the coffee table or whatever?
I don't know if this is a party movie, man. I think this is just like I want to rewatch that one movie from a while ago. I feel like I've watched it every 5 years since it came out, pretty much. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say you're a super fan of the Saw franchise, or
really
Saw
was
itself?
actually for a long time. When I was sort of between the ages of 16 and 21, I'd say I knew the lore, because that's the other thing, is the lore is extensive. Like,
yeah, I love the lore.
There are characters that are in Saw 2 that don't pop back up till like 9 or 10. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the
It's
lore
really
of these.
sick.
Yeah, no, it's actually really cool. And if you have time, I would love for you to watch them all, because the twists only get gnarlier and more surreal, and the traps obviously get more gross and creative. But the lore just goes so deep. And they have like bits in like the 6th and 7th one where it's like, you remember that bit. So you're in the 6th, okay, you're watching the 6th or 7th movie, and then it's like, they'll have a twist where it's like, remember that one scene from Saw 2, that janitor? Turns out he was the fucking mastermind behind the guy in Saw 4. He was actually the cousin of the guy that you ain't even met yet, who's the antagonist of Saw 10. Like, it's like that level of like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think it's planned. I think they always retrospectively add these twists into. Like, I'm almost certain that they plan them, like,
because it's
not in
like they
advance.
got a million different directors attached to this, right? Because I don't think James Wan does another Saw film, so there's just a million different ideas, and I think it's very charming how they just make this so convoluted. It's already convoluted, way more convoluted as it apparently goes on for. I haven't seen.
I won't spoil it for you, but do you not care about like the thing that shocks me the most about the backstory about the franchise?
Yeah, give me a little bit, give me a tease.
It's a big one though. It's a big death.
I'm trying to think when, if I don't think I'll go right away and watch all of these like in the next month or so. It'll be like a couple of years.
Okay, what I'm saying is there's a major death in one of them, in the third one, that you'd be like, oh, it's the end of the franchise, but it keeps fucking going.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. You're like, oh, they can't continue, but they do. So, what did you think?
Oh, I think it's pretty decent. I liked it a lot. Well, no, I wouldn't say a lot. I liked it enough. I thought it was fine. I think it was a certain point, about 1 hour 15. I just thought this is dragging on a little bit. I think they could have shaved a couple of bits off, but it's fun. I think the main two actors, bless their souls, they ain't so good. They ain't so good sometimes. They tend to, I don't know, there's some like very, drama class type acting that happens, especially when he's like, no, don't shoot me. No, I want to live. I want to live. Which is a bit charming. It's a bit charming.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated this, the new metal aesthetic and the fucking editing, which hilarious.
So that's the other thing is they take from the first one is obviously they have this sort of really trippy like editing style in the first one. They take that one editing style and they ramp it up to 11 in all the sequels, and it's like used every time there's like a trap set up. You get these insane product shots of the traps as it like pans around, whips around, zooms in. It's pretty sick actually, to be fair.
I love it a lot. I think the editing is really fun, but also I definitely think it takes away from the drama and maybe the terrifying nature of the traps when you see it just go. It's just like it's like
a fan cam edit.
It's like a fucking Korn music video, At some points I was like, man, they need like Static X on this. It would go hard.
It's from that era, right? 2004.
Yeah, 2004. This would have been right slap bang in the middle of that, right?
Mm-hmm. And also the twist motif. You know how at the end is the twist. You know the music. You know the music that's still used every time the twist happens in the franchise.
I'll tell you,
you'll know when the twist coming because you'll hear it in the background. Like, oh shit, someone's granddad's about to emerge from the grave. Like,
I've heard that song before, but it's like completely divorced the Saw in a way. There's this Ring of Honor. You know Ring of Honor? It was Final Battle 2010, I think. It was Kevin Steen versus El Generico. Kevin Steen, now known as Kevin Owens in the WWE.
Yeah.
They remixed the song, so the beginning of the song had the fucking Saw intro, the
Really?
yeah, and then it went into like the unsettling differences. But his character's not really like Jigsaw, so I don't know why necessarily they did it, but it was kind of cool at the time. I haven't watched that match in about a decade or two now, but fucking hell. That's the history I have with that song.
That's crazy. I just thought it was like only ever used in this one place, but I know there's a couple of like, it was sampled a lot in the 2000s.
Yeah, must have been, man. I would have done that. I would have done
I know if I was songs and stuff. Yeah.
If I was an adult in 2004, I'd be fucking chopping and screwing the shit out of the song. Is that like an original piece or what?
I believe so.
It's a good song, man. It's cool.
Yeah, and you can see why they use it in everyone after.
I mean, it seems like a franchise that needs a stinger. Needs a song like that, just to...
Yeah.
Also, not to go right to the end, but the dead body right in the middle.
Did you see it coming? Is my first question.
I think... I don't think I did. No, I didn't.
That's That's exactly why it did so well, because no one saw that coming.
No, I didn't see it coming. It didn't like shock me. It made me laugh because he gets up and he's like he's been like sleeping, right? I guess he has been sleeping. He's like, the key's in there. The key's in the tub.
Yeah.
And the fact, like, I don't know. I read like a review being like, how did he lie motionless, not breathing for like 8 hours? Well, these guys would do. But surely they would have noticed this guy breathing.
I think they have it in the end where it shows it, right? He like injects himself.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it's like he basically like chloroforms himself, right?
Okay, cool.
But also that's the point: is they're so lost in their own egos in the environment and getting out, they don't realize that. Wait a minute, this guy could be alive.
Well, I'll accept that.
You know,
it's funny.
I think that's why it hits so hard. Is if they would have just realized at the start what was going on, they could have got out. Do you know what I mean? But they wasted so much time yapping and fighting and trying to figure all the
what could they have done though? They were like, "Oh, that's Jigsaw." I mean, or whatever. That's a live
like, this
man.
guy's breathing. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Why is he breathing?
But they're still like chained. So like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah. But so, what do you think of the central idea? Like, okay. Not that you should like say Thanos was right or Jigsaw has a point, but the central, like his motivation to do what he does. How does that sit with you?
Morally or like in the film?
I mean, whatever way you want to interpret it, but I think morally, I kind of like if it was real, I'd say it's heinous. But in the context of the movie, I think I respect it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think it's a nice little motivation for someone to do something like this. I know, because it takes away from just being like he's a sick man who loves to fucking torture people, which can be cool, but this is not that movie. I think it's not. It's interesting. You know, he's I know there was like a line where he was like, "I'm trying to like, I want to destroy the voyeurs." I'm paraphrasing. It's something like, "I want to destroy the voyeurs in the world." And him viewing like I don't know, like Adam, who's seemingly given up on everything. And him being described as a voyeur, like as someone who's not living. You can relate that to Pulse in a way, where you know,
full cycle.
What makes Adam different from the ghosts in Pulse? He's not living life; they're not living.
He doesn't appreciate life, and neither does the Doctor. Funny enough, I think so. The Doctor, Gordon, he's in a few of them. Yeah,
he feel like he has to be.
He comes back a lot, actually.
Does Allison Gordon come back? Does his family come back?
I think they all. Yeah, but again, it's not like the second one; it's like the sixth one.
That's cool.
They don't have a real like. The other thing about the Saw franchise is it's not chronological. Like Saw 3 is. Saw 3 is like. Saw 2 is before Saw 1, and then Saw X. The newest one, I think, is the newest one, Saw X, is set before Saw 1. So it's like.
Did they have a film about the transformation of Jigsaw, or why he decided to do this, or am I
like an origin?
Yeah, did
they have an origin of like they do set up. They have a whole one about how he decides to do this, like what leads him to become. They explore it in this movie. Now, am I mixing that up?
Yeah.
They
do it. I mean, he's like, cool. I've got cancer.
Cool. So they go deeper into why he decides to become a serial killer, basically, because it's not just because he has cancer. he has his other reasons. And really funny, actually. I want to show you this picture.
I have a feeling I know what this is.
Do you? So they do a prequel movie where it sets up like his journey to becoming the serial killer, and they do a Dexter, and they want to make him look younger, so they.
Oh, I think I know. A backwards kappa, like a backwards
and they do a scene where he's like got to be younger. I forget which saw it's in, but he's just got a backwards cap on and a hoodie.
He just looks so old though. Well,
it reminds you of Dexter. Have you seen pictures of Dexter when Dexter's young?
I haven't seen the Dexter ones, no.
So the same thing, they do a thing where Dexter's like mid-30s when the show starts. And then they have these flashback sequences when he's meant to be 18. And they did the exact same shit. They
can't hire like a young guy. Bro, let me show you who he looks like. He fucking looks like the rapper Cage. I'll show you. He fucking looks like Cage. Hold on.
But it's so funny, man. Like, I don't know why they think that this is gonna. You can't pull this shit.
He looks like Cage.
They couldn't just cast someone that looks a little bit like him. Yes, exactly.
He looks like Cage.
But that's like, I think that's like 4 or 5 maybe.
He's got like Tobin Bell here. He has wrinkles to like fuck in this. Could they not just hire a younger man or something?
No. It's pretty funny though. You gotta respect it.
No, it's great. I love it. I'm glad that they did this. There seems to be a lot of charm with the rest of the Saw films, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Apparently, like one of them is like god awful, like 4 or something. Don't quote me.
Oh, I think maybe 5. I think 4 is pretty good.
5.
I think that's what I like about them is they're all like a strong 6, 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? None of them are like catastrophic, and they've found their thing and they've got their audience and it works. And they never really try and push their boundaries further than that. The traps do get more elaborate and more creative and just like way more gross. But they never try and become anything more than just like somebody did a bad thing and they don't appreciate life. So here they have to go for a series of traps, learn a lesson, and then if they get out, they appreciate life. And if they don't, they deserve it. Do you know what I mean?
I thought it was interesting that like with Amanda, the reverse bear trap lady, which was a pretty cool trap. You know, it looks really cool.
Amanda, yeah.
She was at the end, she's like, oh, he helped me. And I think it's cool they set up like that she could become a follower of the Jigsaw. And the Jigsaw will birth like followers out of this.
Bro, you gotta watch the rest of them.
That definitely happens, right? Of course
she's in like 3, 4, 5 maybe. And yeah, she becomes like his guy. She like helps him abduct and set up the traps and stuff. And there's a theme actually throughout all the Saw franchise. The people that end up surviving the traps end up converting to his way of life and then kind of taking on the mantle and helping him.
Wow.
There's a really good one about a copycat version. I think it's Spiral. It's about a copycat.
I don't want to watch Spiral.
I think it's about a copycat. A copycat killer.
Think I can do Spiral. Did you like? What did you make of what's his name? Danny Glover in this.
Pretty good. No.
Yeah, I thought
he plays
cool.
like a really gruff detective.
Yeah, I feel like he's like the biggest star in this, and he might be bigger than this film at this time. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I think when it came out, he was like the. I'm trying to think of a modern equivalent, but he was the pull.
It was him and Monica Potter, I believe.
Right.
She's Allison Gordon.
Yeah. I think he's in the second one. I don't think does he die in the first? I fucking watched like 2 days ago. How have I forgotten?
He died. He died.
He gets shotgun, didn't he?
I'm surprised he didn't die when they like stabbed him in the neck.
Nah, man. Also, the other thing with Saw, man, is like you go through a lot of shit and you never die. You know, there's some traps where people like should have bled out, but they just keep going. It's a niche though. I've seen a ton of people. They rank the traps like
the Watch Mojo really style.
One, yeah, no, I saw, and it was like most traps I'd most likely be able to get out of, and people rank them, and they're all just like, nope, wouldn't bother, nope, too painful, nope.
Some of these traps are just like impossible to win. I think clearly it's like, don't even give them a shot, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, they explore that actually in the 5th one.
Wow. Saw gets introspective. That's nice.
Well, he takes on a protege who survives one of his who survives, and he takes on the protege, but the protege gets hooked on killing, and he rigs them so no one can win. And then Jigsaw has to then put him through the ringer again to make him appreciate the cause, and then he survives it for a second time. It's really good, actually. Yeah, this guy goes through some shit. And it's actually fucking gross, the shit he has to do. But the franchise plays with ethics a lot, of what's right and what's wrong.
The philosophical torture film.
but also like how like what you perceive as right and wrong depends on whose side of the fence you're on.
Interesting.
So yeah, what did you have any other notes about it? What else do you think?
I have a lot of notes, but it's mainly just me finding a lot of stuff funny rather than actual.
What do you find
not really
funny?
A critic, but film criticism. But I noticed, I just kept noting every time they did the Saw ASMR type thing on the chains, it would just be.
Yeah, they love that.
And it was also the argument between Allison and Lawrence, the Gordons. The chemistry, I'm sorry to say, doesn't seem to be there. She kind of, they're like walking in the hallway, and she says, "Don't lie to me. You don't seem happy, man, do you?" And it's like, it felt like she was just reading off, I guess she is reading off a script. I don't know. It felt like something was missing, whether there was no real intimacy fulfilled there or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Well, not cool. I thought it was funny as hell, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think that added to
contrasts the situation they're in, doesn't it?
Anything that isn't in the room. And like anything with the police just feels so alien.
For me,
like it was.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, to illustrate that he's like a negligent father. His daughter and his wife are like, "Daddy, I'm scared." And he's like, "1 minute." Then he's like, "I'm ready now." It's just so like it doesn't fucking like I don't know. No, so you won't get salty here, which for better or for worse, I'd say. Probably for the better.
I think it's for the better. Within the context of the film, it's good.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
They all have that trend of like they spell things out. They don't, not show, don't tell. They just kind of go fucking.
They just show you.
Yeah, literally. They will show. They show you the twists. You get flashbacks every 5 seconds of the things happening.
They kind of grab you and say, "You will understand this movie.
You have to understand it, otherwise you won't go see the sequel to the prequel." Yeah, I think it's a great movie. Regardless on how goofy went.
I don't know, like anything with the fucking like him in the parking lot and the guy taking a picture, anything like that. The orderly being like, "His name is John and he's very interesting," which clearly he's like, "Oh yeah, he's totally gonna play a part."
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah,
I would like to ask you a question about. I'm not really a fan of this term, but. Okay. Torture porn, if you will.
Okay, like those type of movies.
Yeah, are you a fan of that genre of film, or
if it makes sense to the story?
What are your favorite torture films?
I stay away from what it needs to make sense. Like it needs to make sense in the context of the film. Like, would you classify like a really violent like serial killer movie as that?
Like which one?
Like Terrifier.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, I think quote unquote torture films I associate with like your Hostels.
Okay, fine. Or like like I could fuck with Hostel because it's like that's the central plot and it makes sense. It's when it's sort of just added for shock value. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you like the sequels to Hostel?
I just think I've seen the sequels.
Apparently, it just gets more.
Yeah, more gross.
All I know is that Eli Roth said, I think either Hostel 1 or 2, he was like, "I had the urge to kill a person, so I made this movie instead of killing a person," type of thing.
Yeah, that's crazy to admit that. That's
I'm
crazy.
Part of me's just like, oh, he's trying to sell this film.
Yeah, true. But I enjoy them. I just steer clear of the ones that are like for example, a Serbian film.
Yeah.
That shit's just like, why? That's pointless to me. It's like too much. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't really fuck with it because it's like you have this just like the most obscene, shocking stuff for shocking sake. I haven't actually seen it, but I know what most of the scenes entail. But in like in a Hostel or a Saw context, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
because it is part of the story. It's not, and it stays within the confines of the story. It doesn't get. It's not like unnecessary scenes of Do you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. This film isn't really like a torture film, honestly. It's a lot of just setup and flashbacks and storytelling. This is actually a big storytelling film, which is nice. It's nice, but I have to like another fucking 180. But there was in the shootout between Allison and the dude. This felt like I was watching Mission Impossible at one point. It was so jarring, man. It was so alien to everything else. That's what I was saying earlier. So some of these shots outside of like the central story just feel like it's filmed from another film.
It feels like no. I feel like when I watched it again, I was like, it feels like they shot a really good short film in the hospital bathroom, the bathroom. Well, they shot a short film.
It wasn't short. Saw like originally a short.
I don't know. James. Let me check.
I'm pretty. Let me do some on the fly research. James Wan Saw. I'm fairly certain there was like a
Saw 2003, a short film by James Wan.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain this got birthed in a way because that short film like did so well.
Low budget short film, the same name. Okay, from a scene out of the script. So it was one scene from the script.
Oh,
so they shot one scene from his script, pitched it as a short film, and that's how it got greenlit. It feels like they shot all the bathroom stuff, and that was going to be the film.
Yeah, and then they were like,
well, audiences might need a bit more detail, and we need to pad the runtime, so let's add these insane flashbacks and character moments.
Yeah, it feels very off its time, but it clearly has like staying power because. And there's a legacy left behind Saw, and there's a legacy left from the million other Saw films that
it's coming back as well. That whole era of music and new metal and stuff is coming back, man. So these films are going to only resurge again.
Will they capture the magic of, if you want to call it magic? Yes, I guess it's a little bit of magic of new metal. Will they do it?
They will.
I hope so.
Find a way.
Maybe it's time for the noise rock film.
Oh, fuck.
The post-metal film.
The post-metal
When's that
movie.
Gonna drop? I think I'd hate to see a post-metal film, actually.
So what else? Do you have any other comments on Saw?
Oh, the trap diorama he makes.
Uh-huh.
The little... When the detectives are in his like lair and they find this, he made like a little fucking mini thing, like a
he's testing to see if they work.
This guy, he's like got a deadly illness, right? How does he have like the time to do?
You need to watch the sequels, dude.
Fucking hell! I don't know. Yeah. I'll get to this some point, but I'm feeling like I need to see every single one of these films. I don't like that feeling. I don't
you should chase it. It's worth it, man.
We could 10.
We could watch them all and then do a 10 movie lore deep dive.
I don't want this podcast to become a Saw
fan page. The number one Saw fan page.
I would really like that not to happen. But I think I will try and do this in my own time over the course of the next 3 years.
Yeah, no, it's going to take you a while too.
This is a weirdly long film, and I
feel like it could have been shorter. Yeah, I think when I rewatched it this time around, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is long.
They wanted to. This felt like, I think at some point to me, I got the vibe that were like, this is not just torture. We tell stories. We are a storyteller.
But again, it's only when the studio greenlit all the sequels did it become torture.
I mean, you run out of how many? Out of 10 films, eventually you have to lose some of its. Anything else, you have to just go do this one thing. If they can do it creatively, I think that's fine with me.
They seem to put all their energy in the twists and the traps.
Yeah, I mean,
how we get there doesn't matter. You know?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you have so many ideas and so many films to do.
Yeah,
you kind of just gotta take it as it comes, I guess. There's Saw 3D, which is going to be weird when I watch it that it's not in 3D. I assume
that was such a bad call to do that.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to 3D, man? Can it come back?
I don't think 3D ever caught on to watch at home or cinema.
I saw Alita Battle Angel in 4D once.
That's cool.
I don't even think 4D is caught on like that. But
no, it's all about 4DX now, man. That's where everyone's going.
It's the IMAX, don't get rid of the IMAX.
Yeah,
just stay with the IMAX. You could have Saw in the IMAX, which I wouldn't go to see personally. I don't think this movie belongs on a screen so big.
Well, I think. I mean,
Actually,
legacy,
no, maybe the immersion's nice.
Well, yeah, but the legacy of this film, like I said, is like there was a theme park ride. There's one at Alton Towers. No, I haven't been on it personally, but there's a Saw ride at Alton Towers. Not sure if there is there anymore, but merchandising, man. That little doll.
Do you like the doll? What do you think of that?
I think it's really cool design.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's also so
I can't help but laugh when he comes in on the tricycle, though. It's pretty funny.
Dude, it's so fucking funny, man.
It's so unintentionally funny. And they channel that in a bit. You haven't seen it, but in Terrifier, he has a bit where he comes in on the tricycle and it is unintentionally really fucking funny. It's just this little squeaky bike. It's so sick.
As a kid, I thought he's wearing a mask, but I thought for some reason I thought he was meant to be a very small man. Yeah,
no, he's just got a little puppet. Like even the videotapes, like... it's just like it's like he's just set a camera up and he's just like doing this around the puppet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whoa, yeah, the fucking handheld.
He loves that. Something that I always thought about with those movies is like if you miss the instructions, like if you like you're not fully locked in, you're fucked, right?
Yeah.
He never replays them.
No, he's not kind like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to give you he wants it for the real ones to do.
He doesn't even give you like subtitles.
Fuck, man. What an asshole, you know?
You should put like Subway Surfers underneath, dude.
Yeah, get like Saw, man. Bro, what I was thinking, oh yeah, have you seen those memes which are like I want to play a game. Your first challenge is like try not to text this bad bitch, and it's like, hell no, Jigsaw, you tweak it.
That's what I mean. These movies are eternal. They're staying for it. They're staying. Like they're still being like used as.
Hey, every time he came on, like Jigsaw the puppet came on camera, I couldn't help but think of the fucking hell no, Jigsaw, you tweak it. I think he was tweaking a little bit, man. I think it's fucked up. I think it's fucked up to do this to people, but also, what do you think? Was Mr. Gordon cheating on his wife?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he definitely was, right?
Yeah.
He seems that he denies it to the end. Yeah, he denies this to the end.
Jigsaw's never made a mistake. And I think maybe one movie he makes a mistake and then he rectifies it. Like he gets the wrong person or he like gets faulty intel or something.
Oh, so you say Jigsaw's an honest man. John.
I mean, when's he lied? At what point has he lied? He's been honest from the start because they can escape. That's the thing. He's, he didn't technically, and that's his whole defense. It's like I never technically killed anyone.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
he's never killed anyone, right? Like he's let them do it themselves. But cool. Saw. Any other comments about Saw?
I think nu metal is back.
It's so back.
That's all I have to say about Saw, man. I think nu metal's back. I think
roll on nu metal movies.
Yeah, I think 2004.
We see you.
Something happened. Something shifted.
Nice.
And Jigsaw. Congratulations, Saw.
My freaking guy.
You have a legacy, and you will seemingly continue to do this until maybe I'm dead, till we're all gone. Because these movies don't end, and they've been with me since I was a child.
And they won't end either, dude. Yeah. They're going to stay forever.
So congratulations, James Wan. You went from Saw, and now you're doing The Conjuring. You're a money-making machine, man.
Now you're doing Aquaman.
Yeah, fucking what? Damn, dude.